A woman is looking for a Thanksgiving turkey, but can't find a bird big enough to feed her massive family. She asks the stock boy, "Do these turkeys get any bigger?" The stock boy replies, "No, they stopped growing, ma'am. Those turkeys are dead." Man goes to a job interview. The interviewer tells him that they are looking to hire someone who is responsible. "Well, I'm your man." The applicant replies, "At my first job, whenever anything went wrong, they said I was responsible." He comes into school one morning wearing a brand new watch. His best friend little Benny wants to know where the watch is from. So Johnny tells his story. "I was coming from the bathroom to my bedroom when I heard a strange noise from my parents' bedroom. I walked in and saw them bouncing up and down. Dad said I could have anything I wanted as long as I didn't tell the family. I asked for a new watch and here it is." Benny decides he wants one too. So night after night he listens outside his parents' bedroom for any strange noises. And sure enough, eventually he hears some banging and groaning from the other side of the door. He walks in and catches his parents in the act. So his dad offers him anything he wants to keep quiet about the whole affair. Benny immediately says, "I want a watch." The dad sighs and says, "All right, but go and stand in the corner and don't make any noise." Man was wandering around the carnival and he happened to see a fortune teller's tent. Thinking it would be good for a laugh, he went inside and sat down. "Ah," said the woman as she gazed into her crystal ball. "I see you are the father of 2 children. That's what you think?" said the man scornfully. "I'm the father of 3 children." The woman grinned and said, "That's what you think." Man who just got a raise decides to buy a new scope for his rifle. He goes to a rifle shop and asks the clerk to show him a scope. The clerk takes out a scope and says to the man, "This scope is so good, you can see my house up on that hill." The man takes a look through the scope and starts laughing. "What's so funny?" asks the clerk. "I see a naked man and a naked woman running around in the house." The man replies. The clerk grabs the scope from the man and looks at his house. Then he hands 2 bullets to the man and says, "Here are 2 bullets. I'll give you this scope for nothing if you take these 2 bullets, shoot my wife's head off, and shoot the guy's dick off." The man takes another look through the scope and says, "You know what? I think I can do that with only 1 shot." Guy asks a lawyer about his fees. "I charge $50 for 3 questions. The lawyer says, "That's awfully steep, isn't it?" The guy asks. "Yes, I suppose so," the lawyer replies. "Now what's your final question?" Mark bragged about his home aquarium to a friend. "I keep it super clean," he said, "and my fish are always so darn happy." "How the heck can you tell your fish are happy?" his friend asked. "Because," Mark replied, "they are always waging their tails." A tired boxer goes to see his doctor because he's having trouble sleeping. "Have you tried counting sheep?" the doctor asks. "I tried," the boxer explains, "but every time I get to number 9, I stand up." Young girl was having an operation in the hospital. The young girl asked, "Doctor, will I be able to play the piano after the operation?" The doctor said, "Yes, of course." The girl said, "Great, I never could before." Man went to the police station wishing to speak with the burglar who had broken into his house the night before. "You'll get your chance in court," said the desk sergeant. No, insisted the man. "I want to know how he got into the house without waking my wife. I've been trying to do that for years." Well, well-endowed young advertising secretary wore very tight clothes that showed off her figure, especially when she walked. Her young aggressive boss called her into his office one afternoon and closed the door. Pointing to her tightly covered rear, he asked, "Is that for sale?" "Of course not," she snapped angrily, blushing furiously. He replied quietly, "Then I suggest you stop advertising it." And came up behind her husband while he was enjoying his morning coffee and slapped him on the back of the head. "I found a piece of paper in your pocket of your pants with the name Marylou written on it," she said, furious. "You had better have a good explanation." "Calm down, honey," the man replied. "Remember last week when I was at the dog track? That was the name of the dog I bet on." The next morning, his wife snuck up on him and smacked him again. "What was that for?" he complained. The wife said, "Your dog called last night." There was a guy who was struggling to decide what to wear to go to a costume party. Then he had a bright idea. When the host answered the door, he found the guy standing there wearing only underwear. "What the hell are you supposed to be?" asked the host. "A premature ejaculation," said the man. "I just came in my underpants." 90-year-olds had been dating for a while when the man told the woman, "Well, tonight's the night we have sex." And so they did. As they are lying in bed afterward, the man thinks to himself, "My God, if I knew she was a virgin, I would have been much more gentle with her." And the woman was thinking to herself, "My God, if I knew the old geezer could actually get it up, I would have taken off my pantyhose." The mailman's last day on the job, after 35 years of carrying the mail through all kinds of weather to the same neighborhood. When he arrived at the first house on his route, he was greeted by the whole family there, who congratulated him and sent him on his way with a big gift envelope. At the second house, they presented him with a box of fine cigars. The folks at the third house handed him a selection of terrific fishing lures. At the fourth house, he was met at the door by a strikingly beautiful woman in a revealing negligee. She took him by the hand, gently led him through the door, and led him up the stairs to the bedroom, where she blew his mind with the most passionate love he had ever experienced. When he had had enough, they went downstairs, where she made him a full breakfast with a cup of steaming coffee. As she was pouring the coffee, he noticed a $5 sticking out of under the cup's bottom edge. "All this is just too wonderful for words," he said. "But what's the money for?" "Well," she said, "last night I told my husband that today would be your last day and that we should do something special for you. I asked him what to give you and he said, 'Come, give him a $5.' The lady then said, 'The breakfast was my idea.'" And his wife go to their honeymoon place for their 25th anniversary. As the couple reflected on that magical evening 25 years ago, the wife asked the husband, "When you first saw my naked body in front of you, what was going through your mind?" The husband replied, "All I wanted to do was to f*** your brains out and suck your tits dry." Then, as the wife undressed, she asked, "What are you thinking now?" He replied, "It looks like I did a pretty good job."